Okay, good morning. Lord's blessings to you guys. God's peace to you. We're in chapter 5 of the Gospel of Mark, if you wanted to open up your Bibles to that chapter. You probably already have them open there because of the worksheets, but nevertheless. You know what's interesting today, as I was studying for a Bible study, preparing myself, there aren't a lot of stories. There's some, but there aren't a lot of stories about Jesus' ministry that are included in all three Gospels, and today's story is one of the few. The exorcism of the man and the pigs jumping over the cliff is in all three Gospels. So I think what that tells us as we get started is a very important story. Very important story and very important to the, it was impactful to the apostles. It really shaped their faith lives, so we will do our very best to understand it as we go through. Problems? Oh, there are more. Yeah, there are more sheets right there. Sorry about that. So we begin. We left off Jesus calming the storm, and it's interesting that we'll make this case later on, but the same kind of power that Jesus had when he stilled the storm is represented later on when the man, all the way over into, let's see here, like verse 15. And they came to Jesus, saw the demon-possessed man, the one who had the legion, sitting there, clothed in his right mind, and they were afraid. So like Jesus' power and ability to speak over things brings peace, both to the wind and waves that are raging against the boat, but also against this demon, that is, demons, I should say, that are tormenting this poor man. So that might be a little bit of a connection to last week. Maybe to put you in a framework as well, we're drawing close to the end of Jesus' public ministry in the Gospel of Mark. So what's going to happen is that Jesus is going to face up against increasing scrutiny and pushback from the Pharisees and other people, that eventually he's going to kind of retract, and the ministry is going to be mostly for the disciples. That's kind of where we are in the middle of the gospel, and we're drawing close to that quickly. This is maybe a theme for today, right? This is some of the last of the public miracles that Jesus is going to do, at least at this portion of the Gospel of Mark. Yeah, maybe and I think too, I do want to get at this. If you turn your worksheet over, right? Question 3, I think, is going to be a big theological question for us to deal with today. And it kind of what I was hinting at with this question as well, right? Now and not yet. Why does Jesus heal people back then, but we aren't healed in the same way now? And it actually kind of is dealt with in the chapter itself a little bit, right? So we'll get there. We'll talk about that when we get there. Where have they landed? Well, let's read. They came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gerasenes. So where were they before they left? Anybody remember? They're telling parables. I'm guessing that, let's see if we can find okay, well, all the way back in 335, we're in Nazareth. And it doesn't say, that he began to teach beside the sea. So chapter 4, when he's teaching parables, he's probably, we're guessing, but it would be likely that he's in the area of Capernaum. So they head out on the boat away from Capernaum. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, this thing does have a little laser pointer if it's not dead. Let's see if it does. Oh, there it is. It's still alive. All right, okay. So we have, let's see here. Well, this isn't a great map. I'll go to the next one. I got a better map on the next page. There we go. That's better. So Capernaum's here. And Gennesaret, this would be like kind of where the feeding of the 5,000, when they all kind of sit down in big groups. There's a plain here. See, if you notice, you can kind of see the topography of the area around the Sea of Galilee. It's very mountainous, but here there's a little more of a gradual plain. This is where we think the feeding of the 5,000 happened. Capernaum's here, and they're heading to this area. Okay? So heading across the sea is kind of a bold term. They're going to kind of shortcut here. And you'll notice back on the other map, that's why I used it. It kind of shows you the map the way they would use their boat. They don't like cross from side to side like this. They're kind of taking little shortcuts and things like that. So they've crossed over. Now the important thing to think about is this, going to the second map. What is this area? Does anybody remember? Now see, the River Jordan comes out here. And so this is kind of your border here. So what's on this side of the River Jordan? Anybody? Israel is on this side. Yeah, this is like the Israel area. So if we go on the other side, what's over here? It's a thing that was established during Alexander the Great called the Decapolis, the 10 cities. And I believe that this one and Gergesa, Hippos, there's another couple, are all part of the 10 cities. So this is a Gentile Greek area that they're going into. Jesus is leaving Jewish-held territory and going into Gentile-held territory, which is obvious because the very first thing they run into is what? Pigs. And you don't think normal Jewish boys wouldn't tend pigs. I'm probably okay if you want to turn the lights back on. Yeah. They came to the other side of the sea to the country of the Gerasenes, and when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been bound with shackles and chains, but he wrenched the chains apart, and he broke the shackles in pieces. No one had the strength to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and on the mountains, he was crying out and cutting himself with stones. Okay, so, getting to this question maybe you talked about, and the question going here, why do demons cause man to injure himself? What's your thought process? Why do demons, this is a little bit about what we've been covering in my Saturday morning Bible study on spiritual warfare. It's been a very lively debate on Saturday mornings. I really enjoy it a lot. Why do demons want to destroy human flesh? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I like that. God created, so they don't like anything God has made. That's a good point. Yeah. What else? Yeah, that's a really good point. And there's this really powerful preacher he's an evangelical. He talks about abortion, and he talks about how that they use the same words. The, the body and blood of Christ given for you, and often the same words are given by the rabid abortion supporter. It's for me, right? Reproductive rights for me. So they like take the this beautiful sacrament of Christ's body and blood, they twist it upside down, and they use it to kind of do the same things, right? So I think you're exactly right. They can't assault God. They can't beat Jesus. So what are they going to do? They're going to destroy his creations the best they can. And we could try to attribute a lot of forethought and design and plan, but I don't think it's that complicated. It's like a child raging against their parents and going into the room and destroying everything in the room. It's that simple. It's just rage. It's anger. It's jealousy. Yeah, and